Targets the thousands of people each year who try to buy a gun even though they... So Washington State is rolling out a new law that targets the thousands of people each year who try to buy a gun even though they are banned from owning a firearm.
The legislature overwhelmingly passed the measure after reports by King 5 and Public Radio's Northwest News Network. It's the first law in the nation that allows domestic violence victims to be notified if their abuser tries to buy a gun.
King 5 investigator Chris Ingalls shows you how it could change and save lives. That one's a little bit cheaper because it is used.
Licensed gun dealers like Don Teague in Olympia have long been required to run FBI background checks before they sell their wares to any buyer. Federal law bars certain people from owning guns.
A convicted felon, domestic violence, somebody who's convicted of domestic violence, somebody who was adjudicated mentally defective.
Now a new law requires the owner of private sector arms and 1,500 other gun dealers in Washington to take an additional step if a customer fails a background check, beyond refusing to sell the person a firearm.
This here is Washington Firearms Report.
Dealers are now sending reports on the up to 4,000 denied gun purchases each year to the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. WASPIC is adding that information to an existing alert system that notifies crime victims of developments in their case.
With this new system, folks will automatically receive notification when someone attempts to purchase a firearm and is denied.
Information that a perpetrator is gun shopping is especially important in domestic violence cases, where victims are much more likely to die if their abuser has access to a firearm.
I have a life I want to live. I don't want to be scared all the time.
Paula has a permanent protection order against an ex-boyfriend, which means he can't have a gun. She talked to us last year after she learned her ex tried to buy a gun, a warning that came not from authorities, but from an investigation by King 5.
I had to know. Even though it was like a punch in the stomach, I had to know.
Had to know so she could take additional precautions to protect herself.
There's broad agreement on what we're trying to do.
Democrat Drew Hansen and Republican Dave Hayes sponsored House Bill 1501 last session. In addition to protecting crime victims, they wanted to know something else. Why are so many prohibited buyers trying to get their hands on guns? WASPIC's executive director believes many are confused, have old convictions, and have no intent to harm anyone. But others...
For that small group, though, we would like to focus on going after really bad guys that know better, that are trying to illegally purchase a firearm.
When legislators overwhelmingly passed the law in April, it included money for a pilot program to give law enforcement the resources to follow up on those cases. It will help catch gun buyers who lie on their purchase form and swear that they're eligible to own a firearm. Don Teague supports the idea behind the law.
By all means, I'm all for people who should not have guns not having guns.
But unlike law enforcement, he believes most buyers who fail background checks know they're ineligible to own a gun, and all should be investigated. Since the law took effect in July, gun dealers across Washington have reported more than 550 customers who have failed background checks. Chris Ingalls, King 5 News.
And one police agency has already launched an investigation because of the new law. Kitsap County sheriffs have forwarded a case to the prosecutor's office.
They say a man with a disqualifying criminal conviction tried twice to buy a firearm at local gun stores. He's under investigation for attempted possession of a firearm. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If you need help, contact a domestic violence program like the one at the Department of Social and Health Services. The number and the website are on your screen right now.